Democrats need to get their together because we need two parties in this country, and we desperately need the one that still concedes elections, doesn't sell the office, and doesn't want to completely switch out democratic rule of law for a rubber-stamped autocracy. But that party is so right now, and nothing to me symbolized that more than this video. I would love to have AOC on the show, and Mondami and Elizabeth Warren, but I can't subpoena the guests. And I can't fix that what the Democrats are scared of more than anything else, I mean, obviously besides gluten, is being primaried from the far left, even though most Democrats are not far left. They're mild-mannered and moderate, at least at my bathhouse.
In his latest on-air tirade, Ma torched Democrats for cowering before the woke mob. Yep, he insists most Democrats are level-headed, mild-mannered, and sane. But it's the fringe left dragging the whole party into chaos. So he dragged them straight through the mud, and it was brutal comedy. As always, smash that subscribe button so you never miss fiery takedowns like this.
Having with Stormy Daniels was wrong, but Trump didn't hide from the camera. Quite the opposite. It looks like he said to the photographer, widen that out so you can get these tits.
Maher just delivered the insult Democrats dread most. He compared them to Trump. For a party that parades its moral superiority and paints Trump as rock bottom, that's sacrilege. Yet Ma didn't flinch. He said what they can't stomach. Trump is braver. Love him or hate him, he took a scandal's heat in never hiding. Meanwhile, Democrats quaked before the woke mob, too timid to stand their ground. And that cowardice, Ma argues, makes them weaker than the man they despise.
He's got his mugshot hanging outside the Oval Office. He's literally got a guy working for him named Big Balls. It's like if Gavin Newsom had a henchman named Perfect Hair.
Ma continues his effusive praise of Trump for not only owning his mess and dealing with it, but also standing against the woke mob. Trump never pandered to the woke mob during his presidential campaign. He openly chided them and declared what he would do to them if given the nod. And guess what? He got the vote. The Dems, on the other hand, were so afraid of the mob, they bent backwards to please them. And we all know the results.
People ask me all the time, why haven't you ever had Hillary or Bill Clinton on? Why didn't you have Kamala on during the last campaign? You think we don't ask? We ask these people every week. They say no. It took 8 years and a petition to get Obama on. And these are people, all people I voted for. Think about that. They're afraid to come on the show of a guy who voted for them. The Republicans, they show up. And when they do, they take their beating like a man.
Even Maher's audience, who are mostly left-leaning and almost certainly DNC voters, found themselves applauding Republicans. Let that sink in. If your own side is clapping for the opposition, it's not just irony. It's humiliation for the Democrats. The DNC leadership has become a bundle of fear, terrified of backlash from voters, donors, activists, even their own Twitter base. Meanwhile, Republicans charge straight into the woke mob's den, fists up, ready to take the beating if it comes. They'd rather fight and lose and cower and please. And that contrast is exactly why Maher's calling them out.
Went down to Mar-a-Lago and kissed his ass after that.
Oh, bullshit.
When the Mueller report came out, I feel like you mischaracterized it, and I feel that was shady. But you campaigned for election deniers in 2022. This I do not forgive. The Republicans, including you, January 6th, etc., are the ones who are no longer willing to play by the rules of democracy. It's Amendment 22. No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. And yet you keep talking about Trump's... Maybe you should have this. Here,
These are the Republicans who love them or hate them have shown the kind of grit that commands respect. They stand tall in the face of criticism, no matter the opponent. And they do it without flinching. That kind of courage, unapologetic, unshaken, and unafraid is exactly what Bill Maher's been pointing out. They don't fold under pressure. They don't pander to every outrage cycle. And they don't pretend to be something they're not just to score applause. Instead, they fight with their heads held high. And in doing so, they've not only earned Maher's reluctant respect, but mine as well. Sometimes it takes your rivals to remind you what real backbone actually looks like.
I would love to have AOC on the show, and Mandami and Elizabeth Warren, but I can't subpoena the guests. And I can't fix that what the Democrats are scared of more than anything else, I mean, obviously besides gluten, is being primaried from the far left, even though most Democrats are not far left. They're mild-mannered and moderate, at least at my bathhouse.
You already know why the likes of AOC and Zohran Mani wouldn't dare step foot on Bill Maher's show. These two are the poster children of wokeness, champions of the kind of performative politics Ma has zero patience for. They thrive in echo chambers where every slogan gets applause and every radical idea goes unchallenged. But on Maher's stage, they'd be forced to defend that wokeness under fire. And they know he'd cut right through the theatrics. That's why they dodge his invite like it's radioactive. Because facing Maher means watching their carefully crafted narrative unravel in real time.
There is one practical thing that Democrats can do right now that would help them regain power. It's never speak to Trump in person. No, I'm kidding. That's stupid. No, it's this. Inspire your moderates to vote in the primaries. Get that base excited. You have the numbers. After Congressman Moulton made his comment about his daughter not getting run over, he added, but as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that. Well, then change what you're supposed to be afraid of.
The Democrats' fear is slowly crippling them, and Bill Maher isn't shy about making a mockery of it. They're a party drifting toward collapse, weighed down by cowardice and indecision. And Maher can't simply stand by and watch a party he supported for decades sink to the bottom. What frustrates him most is the tragic irony. The Democrats aren't fighting the rot. They're fueling it. Instead of standing firm, they're handing the wheel to the woke mob, enabling its every demand and silencing anyone who dares to question it. This isn't leadership. It's self-sabotage. Ma sees a ship taking on water, while its captains drill more holes in the hull, all in the name of appeasement. Unless they find their courage, the Democrats will keep sinking, and the very mob they fear will be the one that finally drowns them.
Democrats need to get their together because we need two parties in this country, and we desperately need the one that still concedes elections, doesn't sell the office, and doesn't want to completely switch out democratic rule of law for a rubber-stamped autocracy. But that party is so right now, and nothing to me symbolized that more than this video.
Yes, America absolutely needs a second party to balance power. But what we don't need is a party hijacked by wokeness. Nobody is asking for a political movement that shoves anti-common sense ideas down our throats in the name of progress. We don't need a party that talks endlessly about tolerance yet can't tolerate anyone who thinks differently. And we certainly don't need leaders who wave the banner of free speech only to cancel and silence us the second our words don't fit their narrative. That's not democracy. That's hypocrisy. America thrives on debate, disagreement, and a clash of ideas, not on censorship disguised as virtue. A second party should be strong, rational, and unafraid to confront challenges heated. What it cannot be is a woke echo chamber that punishes independent thought and rewards blind conformity. That's the very opposite of freedom.
Why do I say that? Well, let me put it this way. I don't know for a fact that this couple are Democrats. I just know it's true. First off, the man is at a Coldplay concert. And while Republicans could like Coldplay, they don't, but they could. It's unlikely that this guy is a Christian conservative because he was having an affair with a woman. No. I knew they were Democrats for the same reason I knew this was a Democrat. You can't hide from the kiss cam, and you can't hide in the Oval Office. Damn, if only the lady at the Coldplay concert had brought some folders with her, maybe she wouldn't be in hot water today.
One of the strangest and most baffling moves the woke left ever made was ceding authority and influence to children. Yes, children. They started listening to, taking advice from, and even shaping policy around kids who haven't even figured out what career path they want, let alone how the world actually works. And it didn't stop there. These strange ideologies spilled into our culture, flooding movies, TV shows, and entertainment. Suddenly, almost every family sitcom or drama flipped the script. The kids were always the enlightened, all-knowing voices of reason, while the adults, the people with life experience, were portrayed as clueless, bumbling fools. It was a deliberate rewriting of roles, teaching society to look to children for wisdom and dismiss adults as out of touch. The result, a generation raised to believe immaturity equals insight, while genuine experience and authority were mocked as outdated relics of the past.
But Democrats seem to be afraid of everything. They were petrified of COVID, masking 2-year-olds who never would have died from it and keeping schools closed for far too long. They're definitely afraid of their kids, who from time immemorial have always come up with bad ideas. They're kids. Thinking up stupid shit is what they do. But parents used to tell them, that's ridiculous. The world doesn't work that way. Not today's parents. They say, you're right, honey. Gender is just a social construct. Please, sometimes your mother and I forget which one of us has the dick.
Interestingly, one of the woke left's most defining traits is their talent for eating their own. They claim to champion tolerance, but the moment someone on their side dares to think differently, the knives come out. I can count several prominent leftists who walked away, not because they suddenly embraced conservatism, but because they couldn't stomach the suffocating intolerance within their own ranks. The woke crowd operates on a strict code, absolute conformity, or absolute cancellation. Step out of line, question the narrative, or even slightly sing a different tune, and they'll chew you up and spit you out like yesterday's news. It doesn't matter how loyal you were, how loudly you once preached their gospel, or how much you gave to the cause. The instant you break with orthodoxy, you're branded a traitor. And that ruthless self-cannibalization is exactly why more people are running from their side. At the end of the day, Bill Maher's relentless criticism of the Democrats and the woke left isn't just comedy. It's a mirror held up to a party destroying itself. From their fear of the woke mob to their hypocrisy on free speech to their bizarre habit of elevating children as voices of wisdom, the Democrats keep proving his point. Worse, their inability to stand up with courage has turned them into the very thing they claim to despise. Weak, intolerant, and driven by mob rule. Meanwhile, Republicans, flawed as they are, at least show grit, fight, and backbone. And until Democrats rediscover theirs, Ma will keep mocking them, and America will keep wondering who's really fit to lead. And this brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, then hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.